my channel. Today's video is going to be my first fall tutorial of 2015. And I thought there'd be no better way to kick off this series of tutorials than with a classic brown smoky eye, which is kind of crazy that I haven't done a tutorial with the brown smoky eye yet here on my channel because I wear them all the time in real life. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I paired it with a grayish lip. I guess that's what we're calling this color. I did rose it up just a little bit with another lipstick because I kind of wanted to make it a little bit wearable, but to me, I just have no problem pairing dark eyes and dark lips. Obviously, if you don't like this lip color, you can wear whatever you want with it, and I'm sure it'll look absolutely stunning. I personally am so happy that fall is here. Fall and winter are on the way. I lived in Vegas for 3.5 years, and it is a basquillion degrees all year round, and I haven't got to see fall or winter in so long. So I'm very, very happy that the hot weather and the beach days and the sundresses, I'm glad all that's gone. I like dark colors, layers, all that stuff just is right up my alley. And of course, Halloween is coming. I hope you guys are stoked for my Halloween tutorials because I am, and I have some really cool things that are coming this year, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Please subscribe if you have not. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in my next one. I love you more than you will ever know. Bye! Alright guys, as usual, I am starting off with MAC Painterly Paint Pot all over the eyelid. You can use any primer or concealer that you prefer. And I'm just making sure to work this all over the lid from lash line to brow with a small, dense, synthetic brush, but you can use whatever you want. Then I'm going in with Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek, and this is acting as my transition color, not to be confused with the crease color. I am busting this all up in the upper crease area with a very fluffy brush. The one that I like the most is from Sigma. I believe this is the E40. I'm just taking my time building up the saturation of pigmentation from inner corner to outer corner. Your transition color is going to be the color by which all other colors will blend into gradiently. So just get it in there and make sure it's nice and blended. Then I'm going in with Saddle from MAC on a little bit more dense brush. It's sort of similar to the E40. This is MAC 224. It's just a little bit more tapered and a little bit more dense. So it aids me in getting that saddle lower into the crease and a little bit more pigmented of an application. I don't want to cover up the Peach Smoothie color. I literally want there to be a clear transition between Peach Smoothie into Saddle. So I definitely took my time and built this up until it was as saturated in pigment as I wanted it to be. And then I took that fluffy E40 brush I started off with to blend the two colors together seamlessly. And I didn't put a product shot of this in, but this is Groundwork Paint Pot from MAC. It's just a really cool toned, you know, semi-dark, semi-light brown toned paint pot. And I'm just putting that all over the lower part of the mobile lid. You do not want to take this too high, and you can use any dark brown paint pot that you prefer. This will just help us when we're adding our dark eyeshadow on top of it to make sure that it has something to lay on. It takes a lot less time to pack on color this way, and it blends easier. And then I just blended the cream texture of that paint pot and the powder texture of that saddle I laid down into each other so that it's easy to go forward with the blending process. Now I took KoKo Bear on a, I think this is like an E something from Sigma. It's their version of the 217, but I like it a little bit more. And I'm wedging this in between that groundwork and in between saddle, creating a sandwich effect so that the next color we lay down has something to blend into that is in a darker color family than saddle was. And now I'm just blending them all together with a clean brush. Make sure you blend every step of the way and everything will be a-okay. Oh my gosh, I'm trademarking that. Then I'm taking Embark on a stiff kind of a flat shader brush, and I'm pressing this all over the area of the lid that I laid down that groundwork. You don't want to go any higher than that. You can make this part of the eye look as dark as you want it to be, but if you take it up too high, it starts to close the eye off too much. As long as you keep the darker colors towards your lash line and they fade up gradiently from there, it will give you a smoky look without giving you the panda, punched in the face, you know, kind of effect that most people are afraid of happening with a deep smoky eye. Then I'm just taking Shroom from MAC, and I'm putting this right under the highest arch of the brow bone to lift that brow bone and just brighten up that area. And I'm going to apply some gel liner. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel. I typically enjoy a winged liner, a dark, thick winged liner with smoky eyes like this, but I thought I'd keep it a little bit more simple. Feel free to do no liner at all if you're not into that kind of thing. It's just whatever floats your boat, tickles your pickle, whatever you want to call it. Then I'm doing lashes. You also do not have to do lashes, but I'm going to do it. And these are Bella from KoKo lashes. I spoke about them in my last video. They're my favorite lashes of life right now. And they're relatively inexpensive. They're about $6 a pair, and they do last you several uses, so I recommend it. Look at my little friend. Look at my little friend. Now I'm putting on some primer. This is Matchbox Pore Minimizing Primer all over the areas that I have the largest of pores and where I do get my most oily. And I am mixing Becca, it's like Complexion cream or something, and Hourglass Immaculate Fluid, whatever. I'll leave it down below. And like, look, I know I look super orange and yellow in the face area compared to my chest and my arms, but I'm just telling you guys right now, I have tried every foundation, high and low, left and right, and they are all too yellow for me. It doesn't matter how sunless tan I am or how pale I am, it just is the case. So I go in and I can use concealers and highlighting powers. Speaking of concealer, this is NW20 from MAC. I use them to kind of give me a more neutral tone on the face. So at the end of the day, when I finish this tutorial, you will see that my face is not quite so jaundicey looking. Just bear with me. So now I'm just taking a small foundation brush from Real Techniques, and I am putting this all underneath my eyes. It'll go on the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and the underside of where my contour will go. I include my highlighting and contouring routine in every single video. I'm kind of considering cutting it out because typically it doesn't change much. I mean, it has changed recently. This is a very new thing that I've been doing, and I kind of need to make a whole video on it because all I do is rush through it every time. But I don't want to leave it out because in case you were curious, if this is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, this is how I contour and highlight. So anyway, after I lay down all that concealer, I just take a damp beauty blender and I press and I work with that. That was my dog, sorry. I press and I work with that foundation and concealer mixture until they are seamless and blended together, and I press this concealer into my skin. Really take your time blending concealer into your skin. I think that's a big mistake people make. That's how it gets cakey. That's how it gets creasy. Make sure you are blending and almost making it like a stain of pigment on your skin. If you blend it enough, it will kind of melt in that skin, and the texture of it will go away, and all you will have is the pigment. Does that make sense? That makes sense. I don't know. Now I'm taking Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am packing this all over the areas of the face that you just saw me lay down that concealer. This is the baking method, but I kind of use it as like a baking / reverse contouring method. Once again, I am intending to do a video on this, but I just put a crap ton of it on all the areas of my face that I highlighted. Listen here and listen well. Hear you me. If you have dry skin, if you do not exfoliate your skin, if you do not moisturize your skin, if you have dry patches, if you all of the above, the baking method is going to be a living nightmare for you. Make sure you are prepping your skin in your skincare routine all day, or this is not going to be good times. Anyway, so I'm going in with Studio Care Blend Pressed Powder from MAC to dust away the excess areas where that powder is. Like if I don't want that highlighter all over my forehead, I use this powder to clean it up and to also set the outlying areas of my face that are not being hit with that translucent powder. I am very oily. It looks like I'm putting on a lot of product. I assure you I am not. This just makes my makeup last all day. Now I moved on to my bottom lash line, and I decided not to wipe away the powder for the sake of this part of the video, simply because I intend to really smoke this part of my eye out, and I don't have to worry about fallout or anything like that. I can just go to town, and I'm just busting that saddle color with a pencil brush intensely all over my eye from inner corner to outer corner. That was my finger touching my microphone. I'm sorry. Then I took Embark on a smudgy brush, and I am working it from inner corner to outer corner. The goal here is just to smoke it out. You don't have to go quite intense if you don't want to, but I really like the effect of it. Make sure you take your time. As you notice, I'm showing a lot of shots of me going in and out with different brushes to make sure it is seamless into my skin. That is the trick when you are doing bottom line smoking. Make sure it's soft and blended. Then I'm taking Costa Riche Eye Kohl from MAC. I kind of wish I wouldn't have done this. I really like the effect of it not having eyeliner when you do a smoky eye, but I did it. It is what it is. Then I took a tulip brush and I am wiping away the powder. I didn't bother including the whole shot of this, but I really go in and I wipe that powder away for, I don't know, like 5 minutes. You don't want to leave too much product on the skin. It's really easy to get lazy and leave product on the skin and you'll be able to see it. So you really have to go in there and dust it off. Make sure you get all that off your face and you will not have any problems with it being creasy. I also put on a bit of false under eyelashes, which is popping off right there in the corner. It'd be popping off, but that's okay. That's okay. Now I'm going to bronze the outside of my face using Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. I'm really just hitting this on the very outer perimeters of my face. I'm concentrating the most pigment of that color towards my ears. So if I'm contouring my jaw, the most pigment is towards my ears. If it's my cheeks, the most pigment is towards my ears. I don't want to bring too much depth to the inner part of my face because why would I highlight it if I want to darken it again? Makes no sense. Then I'm going in with Harmony Blush from MAC. It's been my jiggity jam lately on my Royal and Lang Nickel Fluffy Fan Brush. Once again, more will be discussed on this stuff when I do my updated contouring routine. And then I'm going to run a little bit of contour on the old schnoz. I've said it before. I don't dislike my nose. I just don't want it to not be carved if everything else is. Then I put a little bit of blush on. This is Summer Honey or Wild Honey or something like that from Becca. I'm going to highlight using Laura Mercier Highlight 01. I've been using the ish out of this lately, and I'm really enjoying it. I highlight the Cupid's bow, tops of the cheeks, bridge of the nose, and tip of the nose. That's how I do it. Then I am lining my lips with Natural Lip Liner from NYX. Nothing too cool here, just getting it on there. Then I'm going in with Trap from ColourPop. This is that grayish color I was talking about, which I do really like the color, don't get me wrong. But I did want to make it a little less intimidating because some people just hate this gray tone. I think it's really cool, and I'm stoked that so many companies are coming out with them. So excuse me, there's a hiccup. I topped it off with a Kat Von D Lovecraft. Whitney, why is this shot so up in your face, Nancy Grace, and none of the others are? I don't know. It just happened, okay? I'm just putting it all over my mouth. This step is optional, like I said. And then I took a brush, and I blended it all together. And that's the end of this look, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!